Right now, almost 4,000
Already
members are
11?
there. Yeah.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. I'm C. Satish Gupta, Chairman Committee for Members in Practice. Welcome you all in this our second consecutive webcast. We have six. We have already declared five webcasts. It is our second webcast, and today we have with us PA Guruprasad M, 1988 batch chartered accountant. He developed first network in our country and has a vision of coming in top 20 chartered accountant firm by 2020. So he's a wonderful orator, and today he's going to take a very relevant topic for the day, for the time, strategies for chartered accountant in practice post COVID-19 time. Hence, we all know that this is a very, I can say, challenging time for our profession. Well, and Mr. Guru Prasad M is going to tell us that what should we do in next 3 months. And not even this, but he is also going to tell us that how should we make our strategies for the after COVID period. It's really wonderful, and it is going to be a very nice session. So I'm thankful to Guru Prasad M. And now I hand over the session to CA Guru Prasad M for his deliberations on the strategies for CAs in practice post COVID-19 time. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Chairman Satish Gupta ji. It was a pleasure to be presenting before all of you. I hope I am seen. I can still see Mr. Satish Gupta. Beautiful. So a very happy morning to all of you.
Continue, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Gupta ji, and thank you also, Dr. Sambit, for giving me this opportunity, and the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, an alma mater for all of us. What I would like to do is, in the next 2 hours I have been given, maybe the 120 minutes could get broken up as 100 minutes. I'll try to present some stuff on various aspects of the profession. Of course, it is reasonably difficult for me also because I'm used to talk when the audience are there in front, but I'm talking to myself now. So it does create some hassles. We are still getting used to this Zoom age. I passed out in 1991, so I would be the old timers of chartered accountancy. I'm not as tech savvy as many of the youngsters are today. But having said that, we are a high-tech firm. I would just like to give a small introduction about ourselves, maybe for a minute, then take you through many points I would like to draft. We are a firm called Guru and Jana. We are based in Bangalore, Mysore, Hyderabad, and Pune. We are around 400 people, and we have been in traditional practice doing tax, audit, assessments, GST, like many of us who are there. So what I would be sharing in the next couple of hours is extremely relevant to our profession. I would not be sharing something which is not implementable. So the first primary rule I would look at is whatever I would share, we can implement it from tomorrow morning. It is not that I would come back and tell you we have to go to blockchain. We have to have a strategy which will create an organization in 2025. Because the hour of the day is we have to be very adaptable. We just got a lockdown not even 2.5 weeks before. And in such a short period, the entire professional community had to adjust its working. The entire world had to adjust its working. So with that basic background, I'll just share my screen and try to run through what I could do as a presentation here. So the topic I have been given is strategies for chartered accountants in practice post COVID-19 times. The Chinese But what is important for us now is how do we go forward? As already stated by the chairman Gupta ji, this is Guruprasad from Guru Anjana. I passed out in 91 and I'm an alumni of IM Bangalore. 003 and was also had the honor of finding Badgach as the first network in India. It's a very successful network even now, and I have some very dear friends in this network. I hope a few of them are seeing this video as I speak. The one picture which you see in the left is an office which we started. The entire office didn't belong to us. Only a part of the office belongs to us. And the picture on the right side of the screen is the building where we function from, which is called as Vande and Mataram. The right side building is Mataram and the left side building is Vande. The beauty of this building is it's a totally electricity-free building. We are in the city of Bangalore, so we don't even have air condition. And we don't have a lock for this office. As you can see, there are 7 floors in this building and there is no lock. As I take you forward in this presentation, I can also present you certain techniques as to how does this work? How can a lockless office exist in the city of Bangalore? And we have all been at home, as everybody has been telling, we are all stuck at home. There is a reasonable amount of turmoil in our lives. It's more than 3 weeks. But having said that, we all know that change is the only constant. We have seen it in the past. We were doing the register of companies, schedule 5, green color form returns, go to the counter, file it, get a sticker and come back. Overnight, the government changed everything. Overnight, even whether he is from Gadag or he is from Raebareli or is he from Lucknow, everybody had to file it in the internet. Whether Bombay, Bangalore, nobody cared. Take the example of the beautiful initiative the Institute has created, the UDIN. The UDIN has done very well. UDIN has been doing, the entire profession changed within no time. E-scrutiny, the profession changed. GST portal, it has been having teething problems, but the entire profession changed. So it is possible that in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, the way we function as chartered accountants would change. Let us look at this. Why is the screen not moving? It's moving. The present scenario, what are the composition of CA firms? You can see a table on my right. Totally, there are 444 chartered accountancy firms in the country who have 10 partners and above. Of course, these include the many firms which are there as the MNC firms represented by the multinational companies. And having said that, in these 444 firms, there are genuine, fabulous partnership firms, but there are partnership firms which are called construct partnership firms. Only for the sake of bank audit, we are a firm. Only for CAG audit, we are a firm, but we have an independent practice. So when we are looking at a country of 130 crore people, a 444 firm comprising of a visiting card based firm to real active firms to the MNC firms are hardly anything for the country. So there's a huge lot of scope for us. When you can see the pie chart in between, a large chunk of them is proprietary firms because the nature of the structure of our profession is the individual is a professional. What the individual talent can get exhibited, that is what gets into the profession. So let us understand the landscape as majority firms are proprietary firms comprising of mofussil, smaller city firms, large city firms, metro firms. At the same time, we have an age demographic spectrum of firms. I'm sure you'll relate with me when I tell I'm in profession for 25 years now, and somebody who comes yesterday might know much more than me. Somebody who has just passed out in 2020 or 2019 could possibly know the law much better, could know the latest technologies much better, could know social media much better. But the fragment of the profession does remain the same wherever we go. I would like to talk about some 10 thoughts today. Point number 1, let's spend some time on what is the impact COVID has created. for us. The Chinese virus, what is the impact it has created on us? Point number 2, I have titled it as homework. What is the homework we are doing? All of us are sitting at home, helping people at home. What's the homework? Then let us concentrate on what is our organization structure pre-COVID and post-COVID. Let's spend a little time on networking guidelines. How do we network? How do we establish a network? Then a little time on what is the segmentation and what is the positioning of yours as a CA firm. For instance, there can be a firm which specializes in direct tax. Like that, you need to segment yourself and position yourself very well. Point 6, in the next 3 months, what are the new areas you can venture out to? Point 7, we are all in different, I heard from Dr. Mishra that over 5,000 people have logged in now. Point 7, distance matters. Everybody is sitting across this fantastic nation. I wouldn't know how many of them are accessing from Dubai, chartered accountants, or them may be accessing. Point 8, let's look at what are the HR strategies as a chartered accountancy firm we will adopt. Point 9, some tech initiatives. And point 10, some business strategies. If you look at all these 10 points, your entire segment of your office will fit in. Be it a one-man office, be it a firm with people, be it a firm with 400 people. It would fit in depending on where is your dot in the graph. It would apply for everybody. And as I started before coming here, every of these points has affected us, will affect us in the next 3 months, and more importantly, all these 3 can be implemented in 3 months. There are points which you can implement from tomorrow morning or possibly after this session. There are points which you can implement maybe in the next week. So when you go through the entire session, I urge you and request you, please do make notes. There is no great technology sense here in the sense of what does section 44 AB do to you? What does section 92 do? There are experts to deal with that. What is an advance ruling? There are experts to deal with that. I am sure the chairman would address many more sessions on those rounds. But today we are only going to talk about as a CA fraternity, how do we function as an organization? Let me look at the point 1, Chinese virus, COVID-19 impact. All of us have been in trouble. There is data in the server in the office. Tax scrutiny is totally missing. Actually, this is the time we had to be busy doing bank audits. Bank audits are not there. I can relate it to all my fellow professionals who are sitting at home expecting a bank audit. So am I. Bank audits are not there. Collection always has been a problem. Chartered accountancy firms has collections as a large segment of their workload, but in capital there. It's going to be even more tougher as the COVID times go. We need to pay salaries to our people. We are an organization, be it a 2-member organization or a 1,000-people organization. We need stipend. Stipend has to be paid to people. We have close to 80 articles in the office. So when I look at what do I do a stipend, it does give me perplexed times. We have 100 chartered accountants in the office. Now, giving work to 100 chartered accountants, giving salary to 100 chartered accountants is quite difficult. Having said that, the other predominant thing we need to look at, client business is down. Many of our retail segment clients are closed down. My hospitality chains are closed down. The 5-star hotels are closed down. The stores are closed down. Software companies are functioning full-time. Outsourcing is functioning full-time. So there has been a segment where clients are doing well, clients are not doing well. Power is with me. What is the meaning of that? Many firms, the partner has got all the decision-making powers. And today it is becoming very difficult. And there is a common statement that we all tell. If I am in the office, सब लोग काम करते हैं. मैं ऑफिस में नहीं हूँ, लोग मस्ती करते हैं. That doesn't work today. I am sitting in my room and conducting a seminar, but I would need to know what my team is doing there. More importantly, there are a lot of new clients. How do we go about? So in the last 3 slides, I took you around There are a lot of problems. I can go on with problems till the cow comes home. Till evening, I can keep telling problems. But that's no use. All of us know what are the problems. We have enough negative outside. In the next few slides, let us see what do we do to get better out of this situation. So this point 1. And if you see the number here, right side number, I have given the point number. As I told you, we will be discussing about 10 points in the next few couple of hours. And this is the first point to know that what are the problems we are facing. We'll have a big expenditure. The results will be less. Our billings would come down. Business would be less. This is the gloom. Now let us look. 10 slides of gloom is over. We have 80 slides of lowering life. We may be sitting at home, but life is not bad. We still are doing well. What can you do sitting at home? This is the first point you need to look at. Looks like we are at home till 15th of April and I'm talking to you on 6th of April. We still have 9 days. And hopefully the virus will get down. Or if it doesn't get down, this may extend by 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, nobody knows. So what can we do sitting at home? When we are sitting at home, either we are sleeping, gardening, we have work, we may have meetings on Zoom, we have Netflix, we have ICAI. So I'm jumping into my point number 2. Point number 2 is denoted with the pink slabs. The flaps I have put in the post-it flaps to tell which is the point I am at. At home, let me deliberate on few aspects. First, what can we do with employees? Thank you. All of you are sipping your cup of coffee, so let me have my luxuries too. What do we do with employees? Employee engagement is very vital. Second, how do we keep in touch with clients? We need to keep in touch with clients because I don't want a situation tomorrow that, hey guys, this was the tough time and you didn't call me at all. So how do we keep in touch with clients? And it's time that we do something more than just calling up sab log theek hai. Everybody is fine. That's not there. We need to go a little further than that. Then the third bucket I would like to talk about is what is a client mining? How do I get more work from my existing client? What type of work can I get? What are the new pastures for me? What are the new client jobs I can get? Can I invest my clients on investments? How do they invest right now? Plus we have a lot of data. What do I do with my data? Of my office, how much is the salary, how much is the rent, what do I do with this data? So in point 2, I would like to cover these points. The next 6 slides will cover each point specifically. For employees, these are few things you have to do because when you are in an office, it's very simple to keep in touch with employees. Every office has got a culture. Now, as I speak for my office, I could relate with my HR when she told that people are staying in 75 different districts, towns, cities. How do I keep in touch with them for the next 1 month? They'll forget half of them. As it is in larger organization, people don't know names. But how do we keep in touch? So the first square here is Kahoot. Kahoot is a small app you can write down. Kahoot.it. Kahoot.it. I'm just giving you an example. I don't have any conflict of interest in any of the examples I'm giving. It's not a recommendation. It's only an example. You can conduct amazing quiz competitions in Kahoot. It announces results on the spot. There is music. You can have an income tax quiz one day, which is an online quiz. You can have a sales GST one day. You can have a VAT regime quiz one day. You can have a section 92 quiz one day. 115. The list can go on. We tried out a debate competition on Zoom. Working from home is good or working from office is good. The beauty of working in technology is a debate. Technology, boon or bane, 100 debates. In fact, as I speak, the team is preparing for an open house. Myself and my partners would be speaking to all the 400 people in an open house. We have the vision of the next year. What do we need to do in the third year? How so on and so forth. This is the time for planning. Two things is a very cute thing what we did. Every employee came on a Zoom call. $14 or $10 you can call for 500 people. Every employee came on a Zoom call. Each one was given 2 minutes. And in this each one was given a minute's time. In 1 minute, he is going to go and tell what are the 2 most precious things in their life. It got us so much more closer. Each of us became more closer than ever before. Meet and greet. How can you meet? We are trying to figure out, can we meet all the family members as we sit here? We have never met any of the employees' family members, any of the articles' family members. Is it the right time? As an organization, if you go to the left bucket, Coursera is there, EduPlus now is an Indian website of a Pune university, Udemy is there. There are free courses, there are paid courses. There are paid courses which range from very small amount of $5 to $10 and larger amounts. We have approached some of them and told, okay, you have a $10 course, 200 people would like to take it from India. Can you make it to $1? They were more than happy. We had a talents day. We had a day for out of the box. The connect in the organization was established for 2 decades. One virus cannot ruin my connect. I have to be in connect with my employees. I have to have team calls. Zoom free, Zoom paid, Blue Jeans, what you're watching, 1,000 tools are there. But keeping in connect, give an hour a day. Keep in connect with your employees. Otherwise, productivity is going to go down. Keep in touch with clients. Clients are really bored of listening to the same crap. Virus ऐसा हो गया, business हालत खराब हो गया, मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ? People are fed up. Let's give them something new. I've given you some thoughts in this slide. You have a client, XYZ Private Limited. They are dealing in footwear. Go to all the footwear companies, down their balance sheets. It's going to cost us $100-200. Prepare an Excel spreadsheet. That's a work for a child article student for 2 days. Give the client. This is what your competitors are faring. This is their debt equity ratio. This is their sales profit ratio. He's going to be delighted with it. Look at this next bucket. 2005 to 2020, I had a client from 2005. We prepared some data for them telling that how his business has grown from 2005 to 2020. Possibly can be as silly as a sales graph, or possibly it could be a milestone graph or product graph. We have data of clients. They depend on us. They call us and tell, sir, give me 2012 balance sheet. They don't have. So if I can have this data and if I can give it to 2 article students and tell, okay, we have totally 300 clients. Out of 300 clients, if I can give it to 150 teams of 2 people each and tell them, prepare 2005 to 2020 for all the 300 clients. You have 2 days time. And all of them will prepare it and send it to us. We review it and send it to the client. That's what I'm keeping in touch with client. Client webinars is a common thing many of you are doing. Many of us have not built in permanent files. We may have audit permanent files, but may not have the client files. This is the right time. Go from 2008 to for possibly last 8 years, 2012 to 2020. Take all his GST returns, TDS returns, income tax returns, send it back to him. Look at din of directors. If you have a company where there are 12 directors or 13 directors, pick up 4 of them. They may be directors in 10 other companies. Go to those 10 companies. Give the job to a student. Give the job to a chartered accountant. Find out what the 10 companies have done. Give it to him in a spreadsheet. Serial number, company name, whether it's filed DIRA, whether it has filed video declaration, whether it has had the AGM on time, whether it has declared dividend. Just give the 10 to him. All of a sudden he may realize, hey boss, a company mein kuch bhi nahi ho raha hai. He may give you the job. We don't know. You can give the risk assessment matrix to the clients. Many chartered accountancy firms, I urge you, you prepare your risk assessment matrix. There are many tools on the Google. This is the time for you to find out where is your risk. One simple risk I could tell. If at all bank audits are gone, that's a huge risk for our profession. If at all private limited company audits go, or the government gives a tool telling that no more GST audit, no more tax audit, no more statutory audit, no more transfer pricing audit. All the 4 audits just get merged to one audit. We lose 4 billings. That's a risk. So understand risk assessments of client. So don't keep in touch with clients for things like, how are you? There are many things you can do. Think out of the box. Client mining. We have clients with us. We have relationships built. This is the time where we can do client mining. Offer services to the client like life after death. How many of our clients have a will? How many of our clients have a succession plan? How many of our clients know where is their passwords? For example, if you have a client who has got 8 members in his family, four families, so four HUF, three partners, one private limited company. The clients may not even have GST portal login, tax portal login. The client may not have most of it. So how do you think the client would get all these things? I'm sorry, my friends. I would also like to have a cup of coffee along with you because it's a 2-hour session. I need a little of a break too. So we can have life after death. Many clients may not even have done nominations in their provident fund, in their LIC, in their bank account. Property documentation is not clear. Life after death is a good service you can offer. Go back to the client and talk about subsidies. What are the subsidies the clients can get? What are the moratoriums the client can get? Can you negotiate a moratorium now for the client? Flipping structures. Right now, the private limited company is held in India. All the shareholders are in India. Think about, can I flip the structure to US? Can I flip the structure to Singapore for a better IP protection? Can I flip the structure to Mauritius or Singapore or Dubai for a better structuring of shares? There could be any structure. It can be a partnership firm dealing in oil seeds. How can I flip this structure? Can I convert it to a private limited company? Or a private limited company, if I convert it to a LLP, what would happen? How do I say dividend distribution tax? Thousands. Create collaborations. We tried doing this. It did work fabulously for us. Create collaborations did work very well for us. We went out to the clients. For example, he's doing formworks or he's doing a new technology. We searched in the website. There is another technology in Korea. There's one more technology in Malaysia. We wrote to them. We are a chartered accountancy firm. We have a client in Nagpur. We have a client in Pune. They are fantastic people. They are doing this technology. Would you like to come to India? We did that for 25 people. 2 of them were easily able to connect. We are already in advanced stage of discussion with them. In a week's time, we'll get a term sheet. I have the time now. Automate his operations. He has to move into automation. You can't have the box files left. We can sit and discuss automation solutions to them. Can you go into QuickBooks? Can you go into Tally Web? Can you go into Zoho? Can you go into Microsoft? 1,000 solutions are there. We need to go out, make a presentation to the client. Sir, itna din you are struggling. Now I would like to do something for you. Change the GST structure. Every time we do the Caro report, we struggle. Fixed asset register not updated. Why can't I do that now? So much time is available in our hands. Let us sit and do those agreements which were never done before. Promoter agreement. A private limited company, there is no agreement for promoter salary. There is a CEO, there is no proper agreement. Non-disclosure agreements are not there in software companies. So just sit and map your clients. Each client you map with 100 clients, 200 clients, 300 clients. Just in one day, we could list out close to 600, 700 billable jobs. Hitherto, we were never able to do it. Now is the time to do it. Client mining. Go to new pastures. For example, there is a VC portfolio. My son is there. He was free. Even he works. So I was just telling him, why don't you go to a particular venture fund? Go to his portfolio. Download all the companies where all they have invested. Go to the ROC. Just prepare a simple dashboard for these clients, for a VC XYZ. These are your portfolio companies. The following have filed in September, the following have filed in August, the following have not filed at all. In a single Excel spreadsheet, you are developing a connection with a VC. Do the same thing with independent directors. We have been giving jobs like balance sheet review. Pick up a balance sheet of a listed company. All of us are technically fast. Go back to them and tell your balance sheet has got so many flaws. Why would we need to wait only for FRRB to do it? We can go and do it. Just go to the IBC website. I was going through the IBC website. There so many cases are admitted. Many of your clients may be interested in that case. There is a steel plant in Ballari. I have a client in Bangalore. Can I speak to him about that steel plant? IBC website has got all the plans up. ICA literature drafting. This is the right time. You're doing a service to your alma mater. You guys are going to write technical guides. We can contribute writing drafts. We can contribute writing manuals for the institute. Institute is not only going to get benefited, profession will get benefited. CPE credits, you get a very good name. Vendor relationships. Establish relationships with vendors. We have started writing to CPA firms in US and Europe. We started telling them, post-COVID, India is in a better phase to obviously manage the show than the European companies or the US companies. We work hard, we work smart, and we are reasonably lesser. It's not just a cost arbitrage, it's a value arbitrage also. Right? Go to the Google, you find so many CA firms. Depending on the size, take a 5 people firm, take a 10 people firm, tell him I can do this for you. Do it for 20 firms. So go into new pastures. Investment advisory, I will not spend too much time for this, but things like cost rationalization. Compare loan structures. Go to your client, see what is the loan he has taken, see the other loans, study it. Debtors review. We did this exercise. It's a very nice exercise. Go to the debtors of your client. See who are the top 5 customers. Go to the ROC. Download those 5 customers' balance sheet. Tell the client, you are supplying only 25 lakh rupees worth material to them. That is a 100 crore company. Why don't you have a look at them? Or you go and warn the client. You have supplied 4 crore rupees to that client. His total business is only 6 crores. He has got a cash crunch problem. Be careful. Debtors review, including financials of the debtors itself. Portfolio review. Risk assessments. You can do hundreds for the clients. Your own data. Prepare a statement of free work done for the client. When you go for a fee negotiation next time, just take all your clients, put 5 people on the job. What is the free work we have done during this period? Prepare a statement. Employee-wise profit and loss account. Is he profitable? Is he not profitable for me? Client-wise profit and loss account. Pareto's rule. 80% of the client give 20% of our money. 20% of the client give 80% of our money. Possibly the 20% are giving us satisfaction. Is there a possibility even in this market can I weed out some clients? I don't need to work out for them. They're not paying me. They don't give me respect. They don't have values. Why would I need to work out? So there can be 10 things you can do with your own data. So just in point number 2, what do you do with your employees? How do you keep in touch with your clients? How do you do client mining? What can you do with your data? What investments can you advise your client? What actions can you do? So on and so forth. You can also look at new pastures. So this is what you can do in the next few days. I wouldn't know what is the time now. Time is 11:30. We are already 30 minutes done this session. I hope you guys are having a good time as much as me. And please do pick up your cup of coffees. I wouldn't know where each of you are sitting, but Bangalore is right now in the peak of its summer and we are all inside. I have not seen the road for the past 21 days. I'm just inside the house and maybe all our time, what we are spending now would go down to history after 20 years. In the history books of possibly our grandchildren, it would be written as there was a corona and this is how they did. And maybe some of our names would be there. So coming to the point number 3, our organization structure right now. I'll not spend too much time on this because this is a long term, but just give you a thought process on this. There should be a lot more transparency. Increments has to be based on performance. Just to give an example, we have a decent succession plan and we have been trying to speak to people. How do I do it? Because even though I am the senior most in the firm, after me, who are the younger partners who will take it over? It's not that my son will come and take it. He's doing a different profession altogether. With 13 years and not a single partner reduced, we added 13 partners. How is it possible? Partnership firms break. Can we study that? Can the pie be bigger? Is a bigger thought process can, instead of my share bigger? If you look at the graph in the right side, the graph in the right side shows when I was 100%, I possibly was earning only 10 lakhs. 100% of my firm. Right now, I may be holding only 20%, but I may be earning 5 crores. So it's not the share what is important. It is the pie what is important. As a structure, let's move this out. We have an open office. This is a part of our office. I was telling you it's a lockless office. Partners, clients, everybody sit outside. This is one of the floors. Can we create an environment? I'm not telling everybody should break out their cabins and come. I'm just thinking, can we create environments which are much more susceptible to change? As I was seeing yesterday the office through the mobile app, through the video, it looks so empty and so naked, but it looked beautiful. Pre-COVID, an organization structure could be like this. Just have a look at this. Most of the chartered accountants are there. We have a partner for taxation. We have a partner who goes to departmental representations and liaison work or whatever. We have a corporate law partner. We have a consulting partner. We have a Mumbai partner. So most of our organizations are divided based on there is a group of partners. Below that we have segments and verticals. Hey, by the way, before I step ahead, you have options in this. Either you can see the full screen of the chart and you can see me in a small square, or you have an option where you can make the screen half and I can come half. In case you can relate that way better, that's also good for you. You can choose. You can just click on the buttons and have a look what is good for you, what is bad for you. So this organization structure works very good. But what I urge each of you is we'll have tough times. Nobody is telling we'll be in a bed of roses. It's not going to be a smooth drive. It's not going to be a highway. There are going to be humps. Let's be aware of that and plan. Each of you sit down and think over this chart. Let us look at an organization structure post-COVID. These 2 months will give us a lot of views. Who are my long-term? Who are my long-term? Who are my transactions? I'm not telling transactions. They are good. There are people who serve a purpose in the 2 years of organization. We get a lot of fresh chartered accountants. They work for 2 years. After 2 years, they go. That's perfectly fine. That is their career path. I'm not telling everybody should stick with us. But having said that, the way I will have to address my long term is totally different the way I address my transactions. Transaction, please don't take it in a negative term. I'm not denoting that they should be demeaned or look bad. Not at all. Everybody has, it's a train journey. Who wants to get down in which station is up to them. You just can't just tell, you have to stay with me till day. We have done enough of telling सब लोग को train करते हम लोग छोड़ के चले जाते. Obviously, we have to be prepared for that. That is from the 1949. That's a standard of our entire profession. Be it a small firm, big firm, middle firm, big four. Everybody have the same problem. But having said that, keep an eye on the transactions. Many people in larger firms will lose jobs. They would have to come out for other pastures. It is the right time to pick up talent, or it also could be a thing telling that when I needed you, you never were with me. But at least prepare a chart, then take the decisions. Weed out. Who are the employees who can be weeded out? Wrong word, but that is the fact. They are just being pampered a lot. They're creating too many problems for me. Now the office can function even without me. Why not this employee? Waste, but good to have. There are some employees who are not at all doing much, but good to have them. They'll be useful sometime. They are loyalist. Whatever happens, COVID comes, COVID goes. Chinese come, Chinese go. I'll stay with Gurujana. These are the loyalists. My bet would go on the long term and my loyalist. Who stood by me in tough terms? I was writing to the organization and one kid came out and told back in an email. Youngster, article student. He told, Dear Guru, we don't have a sir policy in the office. Dear Guru, I know the firm would have tough time. You have a huge salary to pay to 400 people. I am coming from a reasonably well-to-do family. I don't mind if you can defer my stipend or cancel my stipend. Either which ways I am not cancelling. Wow. This is a guy who stood by me in tough times. People have written back and told I don't need increments. I know there is trouble. But at the same time, some have fought for increments. I fully appreciate the fact that as an entrepreneur, as a promoter, as a partner, risk is mine. Reward is mine. So employees cannot be subject to any of the treatment of post-COVID. But having said that, if we are helpless, if we are pushed to the wall, what's it you're going to do? So organization structure, point number 3. Network, I'll spend a few minutes here. I think we are right now at 10:40. I'll have to speak for another 45 minutes or say 50 minutes. Then we'll open it up for question and answers. They've given me some small tool where you can put on the questions I'll do my best. Let us try to give 20-25 minutes for that. And in case the number of questions are not much, I can always come back and share something else with you. Now, networking. I'm not going to talk about what is the networking form, what is form number D, what is the networking guidelines, what is the capacity building committee doing towards this, what is the committee for members in practice doing towards this. Those are literature which are very easily available. Having said that, please also have a pen and paper. There is a small quiz for you. I would request you to try attempting that quiz as soon as this. I could have done it in Kahoot, but when it is 5,000-6,000 people, it does become very difficult in Kahoot. What are the benefits of networking? International exposure is fabulous, especially if it is an international network. I'll tell you how to become a member of an international network in a couple of slides. Work culture and economies of scale are very, very different. I felt I was a very large firm, but when I went to an international network, I could realize that, look, we have just started. There's a huge, huge level to go further. Domestic branding. It helps when you go and, of course, you as a institute code of conduct, you cannot use in the code of conduct, I am a member of so-and-so network. You cannot use the logo. You have to follow the basic code of conduct. But when you're going for a meeting, when you're presenting your company, you can just tell a word. I am a member of HLB. It's a global network. You want any work in Japan, I can get it done. There's a huge impact on that with a client. When a member comes in, when an employee joins the organization, when he knows that you are a brand network company, whether it is the domestic network where like a reputed Badgach or an international network, many of them are there. An employee gets a lot more attention. That's a good attraction point to get the good quality people. They get resources, they get material, they get working papers, they get webinars, they get brand exposure. The similar way, Young Partners Program. Now, as I told you, we are 13 partners and the eldest in the organization. And having said that, we still have close to 60% of the partners less than 35. They have a special program in international networking for them. How do they grow to become senior partners? Business development, toe in the water approach, extremely affordable. So today, whenever we go for an international trip, I don't ever miss an opportunity to meet a network partner, have dinner with him, chat with him. Business can be fabulous through them. You never know what would open up, and it has been successful every trip for me. Referral practice for inbound and outbound referrals. ICAI allows inbound referrals. ICAI allows outbound referrals. But what is not allowed is you cannot pay a referral fee. That is against the code of conduct. You cannot pay a referral fee to an external chartered accountancy firm. For example, when I was in Badgach, there is Ravi Patwa in Silchar and Siliguri and Guwahati. I can pay him a referral fee. The institute guidelines allows us to do. But when I'm in a HLB network, I cannot pay a referral fee to somebody in Austria or possibly in Mauritius or Malta because they are not members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. But there is a very good referral practice, extremely good referral practice. Benefits of networking. Pooling of resources and experienced competencies. Reduce dependence on one client. Too much dependence on one client is very bad. With the international presence, it's much more easier to function. Improves professional standing, client servicing capability. I'll share one incident here. There is a firm called Beavers and Soothers in England. When I met this gentleman, he told me it was a 130-year-old firm. A 130-year-old firm is a huge firm, and they have legacies of almost 4 generations, not of family members, 4 generations of democratic people, elected people. I'm sorry, I need to keep having something. I've been talking continuously for 1.5 hours. Democratically elected people. How do these firms function succession planning? How do these firms in Europe have companies like Puma and Adidas, which are family enterprises? How can they become so big? How do they get that knowledge to the Indian company? So I went and met them. I had an intention that, okay, worst come worst, what would happen? I just lose a foreign trip. That's also a touring. I can just come back. I went and met them. Most firms were helpful. They gave me their literature. They gave me their documents. We came and implemented that here. When we go down, what are the new ventures you can try? I'll cover a few of those. promote specialization, exposure to various client building confidence, risk bearing capacity increases. I don't have to be worried that there is a coronavirus. So all the software companies, see, if you look at Bangalore, we depend on tech. We are not a manufacturing hub. Majority of our clientele comes from startups, technology firms, US, UK, Japan, companies coming and settling down in India. Majority of the work comes from it. Too risky for us. But when we have a network, I can spread my thing. Right now, the team is working for the network in Sri Lanka. They have shortage of people. We are putting our people there because I can get a revenue out of that. And the employee is also very happy. We did the GST work in Dubai. It went on very well. Employee retention, talent attraction, and is a good thing if you have a network. But how does it work? Each of us are independent. Guru and Jana would remain on its own. We are not a legal entity wise separate. I am a entity called Guru Jana, registered with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. The network itself does not do work. The independent firms do the work. The word is independent accounting firms. Each of us have to be independent. The network cannot have any role in the way we do our work. There is no bias. Yeah, they do recommend in references to quality standards. But in terms of an engagement, they don't have a right. They don't even have a right to look at our working papers. The coordinating entity usually is an LLP. That means the network head office is in the LLP. We all fund the LLP in the form of membership subscription. Please note, you can only pay a subscription fee. You're not supposed to pay referral fee. You cannot pay variable fee. You will be in trouble in the institute. For example, if there are fees like conference fees or a seminar fee, fair enough. You're going for a conference, you're paying the fees. But that apart, you cannot pay anything else other than that. So these are the advantages of it. How to identify a network? How do you know sitting here which network is there, which network is not there? Simple method. Oh, something went wrong. Okay. How many countries are there? Go to the websites. There are many websites. I'll give you a link of a few of them now. How many countries are these people there? What are the type of firms? Are they very small firms? There are some networks which are only in Southeast Asia. I saw them, there were around 10 firms. Then I went to each of the websites and saw each was a 30 people firm. I was wondering, if it is a 30 people firm, he will not have a client who will come to India. So I don't think I can associate with this network. And in 7 cities, Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong, Brunei, this is not a network. This is only a small club. So how global is your network is important. Fee sharing structure. Ensure that the structure is beneficial to you. What is the cost? Just don't go and bloat money for a network. The fees can range anything between 2 lakh of rupees to 3 lakh of rupees for a fairly mature network. Of course, that excludes your foreign trips, but either which ways many of you would be doing the foreign trips. Quality of members already present. If it is some network which has got a small firm and he is only doing income tax practice, there is no use of having a network association with a European firm. Because if I am in a place where a European firm will not come, why would I need to spend that 2 lakh of rupees? But having said that, it's a better mindset, a positive mindset, which I would really appreciate telling that I'm not looking at client. Let me look at international exposure. I'll give you an example. When I went to one firm called Sealers in San Francisco, I just went for touring. At that time, I went and saw him. They made me sit in a conference room, and just the conference room expanded my vision of the entire profession. Oh, this is what is a profession. Some 40th floor with a conference room of 1,800 square feet. Immediately I told, look, we have to have a corporate office. We can't function like this. So your mindset changes. Range of services. What is the range of services? As far as possible, don't enter only an audit network. Try to move into a firm which has got many other aspects. What steps can you take? One firm, one state policy. Please do check that. If I am a network member of a network and I am in Bangalore, and the network goes and gives one more membership for another firm in Bangalore, both of us will be fighting for competition. Why would I need to join a network like that? Even if it is a domestic network, you will look, I am representing Maharashtra, I'll take care of Maharashtra. Please don't appoint anybody else. Try to join networks where one state, one firm policy is there. Check for local presence. When I joined my network, there were some industry stalwarts in my network. I went to their offices, checked with them. How does this network function? Who are these people? Can I join them? Are you getting a benefit out of this? Talk to the members. Infrastructure has to be proned up. You are entering an international network or a domestic network. Whether it is a simple infrastructure like a conference room or a simple infrastructure like a licensed software, we can't be using obviously no member in an Institute of Chartered Accountants of India would do wrong. Just as an example, hypothetically as a placeholder, I would tell you, using dummy licenses. It's a part of infrastructure. It's ethical infrastructure. Be open for an inspection, but sign an NDA. Every network will come for an inspection of your working papers. Of course, we follow statement of auditing practices, but every network will have their own accounting practices. Write to the secretariat. Every network has a secretariat. Write to them. There is something called forum of firms. What is a forum of firm? In the world, there are hundreds of networks, and among the hundreds of network, the network become a member of this. This is called as the forum of firms. Mostly the objective of the forum of firms is on high quality practices. The forum coordinates with transnational audits, and it is very closely associated with IFACT. So just as a guiding principle, a network which is a part of the forum of firms is already a network with a good standing. So if you go to the forum of firms website and look at all the networks, check out which are the networks, then check out are they in your state. That would be the right candidate for you. But having said that, many of them are already there in many places, but there is no hard and fast rule that you cannot check out. Most welcome, you can come back to HLB network, which I am a part of network, write to them, look, I am better than Guru Anjana, I would like to be here. It's a democratic process. There's nothing that there is a protective environment that, okay, this is my bastion, this is my family, I have to stick here all my life, this is my dynasty. It don't work that way. It's a democratic setup. Some of the networks of forum of firms are HLB International, Crow Horath, of course, the multinational firms like Ernst & Young, KPMG, the Deloittes and the PwCs are also members of forum of firms. The PKF, the Baker Tillys, and these are some of the network members. Some smaller firms, Prime Global is fairly big, ILAS, AGN International, DFK, some other network members. Just grab a book and a pen. Now the time is 11:52. I have 1 hour, 8 minutes. Let me push it fast. Grab a book and a pen. We'll have to do it very fast. As and I ask a question, just tell whether if you have complied with that, put 1. If you have not complied with that, put 0. At the end of the day, let us see how many marks you got. Do you have an internal control procedure manual? 1 if you have got it, 0 if you have not got it. Are partners of the firm ultimately responsible for quality process? 1 or 0. Is communication of independence formalized? Do you have an independence register, and will people sign the independence often, whether it can be digital or non-digital? Is it formalized? Do you have a history of disengagement of independence or conflict of interest? Very vital. My brother became the MD of that company, which I was doing the statutory auditor, so I resigned. Document it. These are vital points in becoming a part of network. Do you have a history of independence? 4 questions. 1, 0. Are the firm's ethical governance practices documented? Yeah, you may have a very beautiful policy. I have a no-graft policy. I have a multi-ethnicity policy. I have a posh policy. I have a no-bias policy. We have a code of conduct. That is good. Is it in the mind or is it documented? If it is in the mind, 1 or 0. Having said that, if any of you require all this, please do keep in touch with me. I'd be happy to share them. But I'm sure whenever I do a presentation, I get many people requesting information. Right now, we are working with skeleton time because we are doing so many things, we don't have time. But positively, everybody would get a response back. How do you write to me? You can just go to www.gurujana.com, go to the contact, there is a tab, just write to me in the tab. I'll respond directly, the tab notifications come to me directly. Is technology used in the firm, or is there a consciousness of a local brand? Are you a brand name locally? is important. 6 questions. Next. It involves cost. Are you ready to pay membership fees? Yes or no? Extra time. Are you ready to commit your time in addition to daily routine? I would expect if you are a network member, at least 2 hours a week would need to go for the network, being the principal partner. Other partners maybe half an hour a week. Being the principal partner, 2 hours a week will go. Are you ready to travel? It may be national or international. How quickly can you reply? Do you have a plan? Because it can't be telling that, no, I have a plan. I'll reply always on time. Don't worry. No. Is there a technology for that? Do you have a document for that? Is there an escalation metrics for that? It's not a mindset. Do you have a policy-based thing? May require initiatives to contribute to the network. Are you open for it? For example, I'm a member of the tech committee. A lot of my time goes there. Am I able to give that? Next set of questions. POC. One of the partners will be a SPOC. Single point of contact. Do you have one person for that? May not generate any business for a few years. Are you patient with that? You're spending 3 lakh of rupees, 2 lakh of rupees every month, every year. For 3 years, 6 lakhs is gone, 3 foreign trips, another 2 lakhs is gone. Are you ready? Sometimes it doesn't fetch work. But as a firm, we got lucky. We got 10 times more work than what we expect. Punctuality. Would you be able to respond to queries on time? When we are in international practice, when I give work today, it means I give it today, not later. Are you ready to adopt to an international culture for better? Are the employees and other members happy with the association? Are you okay for monitoring policy and internal framework? Please mark 1-0. So once you have completed that, I think I asked around 14-15 questions to you. Just have a mental check. This presentation, the institute will obviously give it to you. Go back and see whether I am there, I am not there. In case you want to be a part of the network, please start getting those. If you need any documents, any formats, do keep in touch with us. But what is the primary difference between an international network and an international scenario and a global scenario and an Indian scenario? Most mergers are outside India. In India, you don't see many mergers. Of course, as a firm, we saw 3 mergers in our time for 18 years, but that's not enough. Most mergers are outside India. Succession planning is very important. Many Indian firms don't have a succession planning. The boss who is the head of the office does not even know that he has to lay down boots at the age of 70, 75. Of course, he can work till 100. His experience is fantastic. But who's going to take daily calls? The firm is bigger than I am. That is very vital. My name is something which is extremely different in Indian context. In Indian context, the name of the firm, X and Company, Y and Company, Guru and Jana, is very vital for us. But in a global scenario, they don't give a damn. That's why mergers are so easy. My name is one of the largest impediment for mergers in India. What did you find in these mergers? So global scenario is extremely difficult. In an Indian context, it is me and my family. As long as I am a chartered accountant, I have 5 partners, yet my son will come and take over. That's not fair. I am established in 1934, so I am very big. All is well now. Why would I need to do a network? Look at this slide. In US and places like this, there are firms which are quoting. This New York, there is a firm which specializes in tax and audit. Number of staff are 4, manager is 1, partner is 3. They want to sell for $2 million. They're quoting on the websites. They're buying on the websites. So the scenario is very different from India and US. There's a firm called buyingafirm.com. You can buy a firm. You want to merge, you can go here. So I work with many international firms and I keep getting notices. We merged with them. We closed our firm. 4 partners split. 3 partners split. I'm not telling we should split. But we are in a different ecosystem altogether. And look at our type of mergers. Very, very different type of mergers we have. We have a visiting card merger. Only for the sake of the visiting card, we are partners. We don't function as partners. We have empanelment mergers. Yeah, these are constructed for benefit of the firm, but technically these are not mergers. I have seen firms which have got 18 partners. They meet once a year. They are more like a network. They are not a firm. The C&AG and bank audit, we are all going to share the proceeds and responsibilities. Otherwise, no. There are polyclinic, overhead mergers. We will all share a single office. We'll share the cost of HR, payroll and accounting and the office rent and infrastructure. Our client is each of our clients. So it's very different construct between India and other countries. Just let us run through very fast. I don't think we should spend any time on this. I don't think you should also pick up a pen and paper. This is available for you always. You can read out later. I can skip these slides because there is a paucity of time. This is again a questionnaire to just tell, are you ready for a merger or no? Just I have put in some 20 questions. You can just tick off these questions and tell whether you are ready for a merger or no. Of course, these are not sacrosanct. These are just few thoughts which I am giving you. There's nothing sacrosanct in this. You may have your own thoughts. You may have your own options. Oh, more questions. Okay. This is a nice thought process you need to be left with. Point number 5. Segmentation and positioning. What is a segmentation? How do you position your firm is very vital. Look at this. It's a common thing that everybody keep telling that whatever work comes, we do everything. Anything comes, I'm willing to do that. Getting work is very difficult. Be rest assured, getting work is not difficult. I'll make my statement more clear. Getting work is not difficult. Our efforts to get work is less. We all abide by the code of conduct. Nobody is going to break the code of conduct. But what is the effort I have taken? When you look at positioning, developing business has become a part-time job. Where are you positioned your firm as? I'll give you an example of what is positioning. We had around 1800 individual files. We had around 200 partnership files. Sometime in 2006 or 2007, we were analyzing and finding out how is the firm not growing. Maybe it was 2008 end. Then all the partners told one of us have to get a little management exposure. We are not doing well. So I was the guy who was the guinea pig and pushed to the Indian Institute of Management for a period of 1 year. I took a sabbatical and went there. Then I started wondering that we are all professionals, but we are not organization builders. So look at this context. As a firm, we had so many individual 1800, 1700 individual files, close to 180, 200 partnership files, and maybe 10 private limited companies. We took a call at that time. Let us position ourselves telling that we are not going to do individual work. We are not going to do partnership work. The question will come, what a stupid thought process is this? Partners objected. A lot of partners objected. But we had a logic. The logic was, if I do a private limited company, I get Companies Act. I get Income Tax Act. I get directors to do their individual returns. I get XBRL. Plus, a private limited company will refer me to another private limited company, while an individual will refer me to another individual. Look at this. There's nothing wrong in going to Hotel Suvidha. I love street food. There's nothing wrong. But just as a metaphor, I'm giving you this. If you're going to a Oberoi hotel or a Taj, you're going to meet a neighbor who also comes to Taj. Similarly, if you're having a client who is going to give you a billing of 8 lakh of rupees, he is not going to introduce another client to you who is going to give you a business of 20,000 rupees because his circle is like that. So I'm only telling, let your segment be that. I'm not telling that should be your segment. You can decide what is your segment. And tell no to your client. So many times when the moment he tells it is a partnership firm, it is so easy to take a decision. Telling, I'm sorry sir, I respect your business. Thank you very much for considering us. We are very grateful for you, but we don't do partnership. So immediately it will, can you convert mine to private limited company? No sir, your business is good enough for a partnership firm. Just for the sake of an auditor, don't convert to private limited company. Perfectly fine for me, perfectly fine for him. So we positioned that we'll only handle private limited. So again, in private limited, what is a segment? We have to segment our firms. You may segment totally your way. One example is, I have a friend of mine who only specializes in work with merchants of the yard. He's a specialist. His segment is anybody in the yard will come to only that person. Fantastic segmentation. There's nothing wrong. You need to choose what is your segment. We chose 2 segments as a firm. I would like to share that example. Example 1. Companies which are coming from UK, US, Germany, now Japan. Why only 4 countries? Why can't be every country? No. Timing, work culture, technology firms, double taxation agreement, plus I can concentrate only on 4 countries' trade commissions. I can attend 4 countries' seminars. I can keep in touch with those countries. That is what is called segmentation. So we only do 2 segments. One segment, people who come from these 4 countries coming and setting shop in India. So all are wholly owned subsidiaries. The second segment is startups which are funded. Can be 2 million, 5 million, whatever. So only funded startups. Other than this, we don't do anything else. So with this segmentation, we have built up a team of 400 people. Not that we are masters in income tax or sales tax. We have segmented very carefully. Look at this segment. Most of us in the profession are in the XXX. That is the tax. What is the tax component? Whether the tax is 30%, whether I can make it 25% with some ingenious tax planning, or whether I can make it 28%, or the tax officer will disallow these expenses. So this is, the entire profession is struck in a part of profit. See, firstly, profit is a small part of the P&L account. In the profit, we are only struck, in the profit there is an appropriation to the dividends. Then the rest, only we are paying the income taxes, or the other way around. So we are only struck in the tax profession. But we being finance professionals, even if the tax is say 60 crores in this particular thing, and with all my financial ingenuity, I reduce it from 60 crores to 55 crores. 5 crores I am saving to the client, which is highly unlikely, because already everything is so set, you can't be saving taxes every day. But instead, if I use my professional ingenuity on the gross income, how can I increase your 1425 crores to 1525 crores? How can I reduce your COGS from 895 crores to 800 crores? Our profession is not in this direction only. So if you can build a vertical only in this direction, yeah, there is a tax team. Let the tax team take care of that. Let the advisory team take care of the others. So the same client I can do this. Next would be the point number 6. I have point 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have another 30 minutes. I need to really move fast. So what are the new areas you can venture into? Maybe this I'll do very fast. We don't have too much time for this, because I would like to keep some. I hope I've got some questions, but I don't know. I can't see in the screen right away. I have to minimize my deck to see that. Many of us work with family businesses. Area 1. This is one practice which we built with understanding of the German firms. I often get so annoyed when I hear the father will come and tell, Bade Papa gusar gaya. So we are splitting. In any community, name it a business community, take an instance of this. There is a brother 1, a brother 2, and brother 3. All the 3 came from a remote village and started business. They all shared equally. This is the Bade Papa, just as a name or a placeholder. He has got 2 children, B1 and B2. They both join business. The partner B, brother B, has got 2 children. B3 becomes a chartered accountant, G1 becomes a doctor. Then the third brother has got B4 who joins business, and B5 who goes abroad, and G2 becomes a homemaker. Now, 3 sons have gone into business, and one of the brother dies. 3 sons, 2 people. Most businesses break down. And this we are seeing on a daily basis in our profession. And we create a family arrangement for them. Can I tell what will be the share? Will the doctor get anything because he has started a doctor business? Will a chartered accountant get anything? A married woman, will she get anything? What will the person who goes abroad get? What will the girl who is a doctor get? What will be the share of B2, B4? One fellow B2 is doing everything. B4 is doing nothing. They can't tell, Mera papa ka share 1/3 hai, mera share 1/3 hai. So we will have to figure out these aspects. Who owns control? Share capital structure or veto rights? It need not be a private limited company. Veto rights can be structured in a partnership firm. For example, in Guru and Jana, we are a partnership firm. I have some veto rights. So what are the veto rights? Can we design their vision, mission? How will the siblings share? What will happen after death? Who comes into the advisory board, main board, SPV board? What are the shareholders meetings? We in fact go to the extent that how much you can spend for marriage of second daughter. When you go abroad, who funds? To that extent, things are defined. That is how, as a firm, I am so proud to tell that it is almost 17 years, 18 years since we have practiced. There is not a single partner who has left us. And there are 7 practice leaders who will become partners in the next 3 years or 4 years. I'm sure nobody will leave us. Not that we are holier than thou, because we have a structured document between us. I could share my partnership deed to all of you in case it makes sense. You can run through that. Then you can render specialized services. One services could be demand services. We have so many of our clients. Corporate law services. We represent law firms. For example, a law firm, a larger law firm, bills per hour. A chartered accountant doesn't bill per hour. Now, we have a company secretarial team. We are in Bangalore, but this team doesn't sit only in Bangalore. Team sits in possibly Jaipur. We have people working in New Jersey. We have one girl working from Siliguri. We have one super mom working in Jayanagar, and so on and so forth. But we work with the law firms and we tell the law firms, your corporate law work we take care. Because law firms, MNC law firms don't do corporate law. As a chartered accountant, I am a chartered accountant. I have company law knowledge plus a company secretary also. So we can offer much better service. Suppose, for example, if you are giving a loan from company A to company B, as a company secretary, I will definitely look at, okay, I have to pass a board resolution. But as a chartered accountancy mind, I look at, hey boss, deemed dividend aata hai isko. So what we can offer to them is much bigger. Valuation aata hai. Oh, valuation, you have to go to a registered valuer. So there is going to be a complex mixture which law firms would be able to get. So we tie up with law firms and offer corporate law services. Just to give you a ballpark thing, only through the law firms we have a revenue of around 2 crore of rupees every year. Only through association of 4 law firms and only basic work of corporate law. So that's a very good job for us. Shareholder agreement compliances. There are many VC funds who have put money in the startups. But after the shareholders agreement is signed, nobody reviews it. So we take jobs of shareholder agreements. We take the agreement, see all the clauses, convert it to a questionnaire, go to the portfolio company, fill up the questionnaire, present a dashboard. Every month it's a retainer service fee. A venture fund, there are 1,000 plus venture fee to Gurgaon, to Calcutta, to Patna, everywhere there are venture funds. Can I become their custodian? Because a VC guide is only concentrating on business. He is not even looking at what would happen from the corporate law point of view. We are masters of that. Can I take care of the shareholders meeting? Can I take care of the data directors meeting? Can I have copies of the declarations? Can I have copies of the video declarations? So on and so forth. Next. I can create data rooms, be it a proprietor, be it a partnership firm, be it anybody. I can go back to the client and tell, I'll create a data room. At a touch of a button, you can get whatever you want. Directorship services. We know the law. Why can't I offer directorship services to people? Institute allows us to be simpliciter. I don't have an operational role, but I can be a professional director. Vendor due diligence could be a good area of service. Voluntary winding up, insolvency cases, forensics, liquidation areas. Many of you have learnt everything of point number 3, but there are thousands of other specialized services, which is mostly packaging, which we already know. What I mean by specialized services is, I am not telling you have to be a master of forensic audit. I'm not coming out with a service that you have to have blockchain knowledge. You have to be an expert of opportunity work. You can easily handle it. Thank you. Distance matters. When we are in COVID, everybody is in a different game. The old times have died. Everybody has spoken about this 100 times. Bank audits may go, GST audits may go, old times bulk tax returns go, old times will die. Look at this slide. I'll leave the slide deck with you. Digital disruption. DIY approach. Do yourself. There are many webinars where people can incorporate their companies. There are alternate service providers who can come in now and render outsourcing services. There are regulatory, now if you look at the clients who are adapting to technology, incorporate your company for 3,000 rupees, incorporate your company for 4,000 rupees. Everything is going towards a digital world. India has recorded the largest FDI, large startup base, ease of doing business in India is improving, disinvestment is happening. Could be a very, very good area of work. So there could be, distance will not matter anymore. So when you are sitting in, for example, in Chhattisgarh, assume, or you are sitting in Sholapur, visited that place, very beautiful place. Nobody is telling you can't approach a client in Canada. I visited a chartered accountancy firm in Ahmedabad and I was speaking to the partner, amazing firm. They started with 5 people in this vertical of maintaining audit files for foreign CA firms. Now, everybody maintain files. Now, these guys sit and maintain the audit files there. They create the financial statements. High quality work. I would love to do IFRS work. I love to do high quality work. And I also would love to get paid in dollars. And I kept following this firm in the last 4 years. I believe now there are 1,000 plus people only doing professional work. And so distance does not matter at all. Point number 8, as we sit in COVID times, look at this graph in the left side. Department takes 30% of my time, 40% goes to client, SOS work 10% and I execution work for 20%. Entire work is going here. But technically as a firm owner, how much am I spending with HR? What is the time I am spending to HR? So HR I have to spend as 40% of my time. HR does not mean I keep conducting nautanki in my office. HR is a very, very different, difficult, complex game. HR is challenging a chartered accountant who has come fresh. How can he do a job of 100 crore company audit flawless? That is the role of a partner. Half the time if I am sitting with my general ledger and data analytics tools or with my trial balance and my schedule 3, where will I concentrate on developing 10 more people? So as a growing firm, in the left slide, hardly any time is allocated. You look at any of your time sheets, how much time have employees are craving for telling, can I get 5 minutes with you? Clients are getting the time. But if I give 2 hours to an employee, he can free me from 20 hours of other time. Look at the next thought process of HR. We need to spend time in belongingness in the organization. Now, all your employees that are at their home, are they missing the office? Expect somebody to come and tell, I have a pride in working for Reliance. I have a pride in working for Tatas. I have a pride working for Guruprasad also. That's a lot of HR effort. A song for the office. We're all sitting here. There are so many places where we can have a song for the office. I'll skip this because these are all readable material. You can easily run through this quite easily. Look at this. This is a tool we developed. This is called a PMS tool. It's a simple tool. Many a times, the employee is not even getting it correct. I don't get it back. I hope it was the first time I didn't get on blue jeans. It looks like working. This is a PMS membership form. The member's name is some Nagasandhya. He just goes and tells what is a PMS time. Having said that, this is a Google form, my friend. And she just puts in some metrics, quality of work, adherence to policies or the profitability. She's met statutory timelines and etc. So she gets 97 points. Then it goes to a practice leader, what we call as a next to partner. He fills up his points. He tells the employee is getting some, all just placeholder. You don't have to go by numbers. He just goes and tells, okay, this is the time we get. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to make it transparent for the employee. Then he gets something faster. Then it comes to the partner. And the partner just gives his points. Now in this case, I am the partner. So I just put some number as a placeholder. Just dump some numbers. If you see the fourth column, the weight is decided. Quality of work, we have given 5 weights. Hands-on is 1 weight. The total points is 77. I put in marks and submit it. Now this directly goes to the HR. Now the moment it goes to the HR will give an increment. And if the employee is not happy with this, the old increment continues, whatever is given as per this format, then we will still sit and discuss with it. For that we'll have a month's time. But at least the employee has got what is in there. Some things like that. And we don't get employees. It's the same thing we do. But when it comes for an interview, the only I hope I am back. I think I am back. I'm back. Thanks. I think my internet went down or something like that, but hopefully it will not go down further. Doesn't say I'm out of slide. We have already done. Fingers actually. So interviewing is an experience. Even a simple Google form to conduct an interview you could keep. How are you to treat it when he joins? He doesn't mind taking $20,000 less, but his treatment has to be good. Can we use AI tools? There are many AI tools for interviews. I'll spend maybe 15 minutes on this tech strategies. What can you do? Many of you are stuck today at home having the data in the server and trying to use Dropbox or Google or emails to send data. Can we have a situation where we have much better technology for this sitting at home? I want to see this slide. Everybody in the profession have the same problems. Problems are unique for all of us. No systems. My senior has no time to do instruction. The standard tally. Before that, we worry which version is tally. Yes, around the global chains. We are talking of a private limited company which is growing a turnover of 100 crores. There's no great finance package in that company. Partners are sitting and doing routine jobs. Every time you have to repeat instructions. Employees are asking more, doing less. How do I keep track? In profitability, I don't know. Clients are always complaining, you don't give me time. What happened to my work? Is this the correct tally? Why don't you send the same staff for audits every time? From where will I get the same staff? Staff keep changing. I can't be getting the same staff every time. This is one tool. I would not like to mention the name of the tool. This is one tool we use. See, for example, in this tool, I need to see the transfer pricing cases in my office. I just get all the transfer pricing. Did I skip a slide by any chance? I think so. I think I skipped a slide. This is one client. Okay. I have not skipped a slide. Take this thing. Transfer pricing cases. I want to see what all cases I have done in the office. I can just go there and put transfer pricing. These are all of course, these are all dummy names. You don't have to worry about the names. These are all the transfer pricing cases we have done in the office, which are completed. It's so easy for me to articulate things. Suppose I want to create a new work. A new audit. I am creating an audit called Pathway. This is my company, so I can directly put that case. And I am creating an audit service. I select what audit is it. I am selecting statutory audit and select a template for that. And just give a name. And then when I open this service, already there is a clear task list. What is my appointment? What is my opening balance? Preliminary analysis, what I should do. Audit planning, what are the documents? Share capital, what are the documents? So on and so forth. So everything is much more systematic in this. A software like this could cost you 200 rupees a month. And all the tools, all the checklists are available. All the files are available. The formats are available. So you don't need to invent anything. Everything is there already. What is there to invent in this? You just need to upload. For example, if any of you are sitting in COVID times with a hard disk, buy this software. Per employee, it may cost $200. For 10 employees, it's a matter of 2,000 rupees. Take the hard disk, open clients, just upload client wise, give access. The employee can sit at home without instructions, do what he wants to do. Look at this tool which you can discover. As I told you, I don't have any allegiance. I don't have any conflict of interest. These are just random tools. There are 100 more tools like this. Look at this tool. Now, many of us are in individual practice where we do individual files, we do individual income tax returns, sales tax returns, or whatever. For that, we need bank statements, we need credit card statements of individuals, we need LIC papers and all. If I look at this software, it is practically free. There is a free version, there is a paid version. So when I go and just play this button, just log in some name. It is now logging in the name of Guru Narendra at Gurujana. 1225. So it just goes now, and it has picked up all the bank statements from all my bank accounts. It has picked up my LIC statements. It has picked up my credit card statements. Everywhere it just picks up, and it just comes and collates an information in a single place where I am able to get all my bank analysis, all my credit card analysis, all my loan account, bank loan account, home loan account, mutual fund account, and then it almost gives me a trial balance. Then what is it I have to do? Now I can do what work I have to do. Now I can sit down and play the role of a chartered accountant and not a bookkeeper. And when this is available free almost, or possibly 500 rupees per year, even if I have 100 clients, if I implement this in 100 clients, it's a matter of 50,000 bucks. I'm getting everything in a single button. I don't have to ask him for bank statements. I don't have to ask him for LIC statements. I don't have to ask him for anything. Everything is available here. Look at this. This is a tool what we designed. It's called Vivid. You can design the same tool. It is not available for sale. What this tool does is, many of us, for example, we go to an income tax scrutiny. We do a 143 bracket 2. And in a 143 bracket 2, we appear for 10 hearings and we come back and tell the client our bill is 1 lakh. The client will tell, kya kiya humne? You had the data, you went and submitted. They don't even know the amount of work which happens. Let us take a simpler example. You do a 15 CA and a 15 CB for a section 195, I presume I'm correct because I don't do tax. And in this statement, you are going ahead and giving a 15 CA, 15 CB. And the client tells it's a simple form. Why are you charging 10,000 bucks for me? But the client doesn't understand. I have to do a PE declaration. I have to sue double taxation treaty. I have to revise the invoice. I have to fill up the returns, upload the form. There's so much of work. This software will collect all the data and make a booklet within a period of 30 seconds. You can see how it is doing the booklet now. I'm opening the application. I'm just giving the name. I call it as Gurujana. I just choose what all I want to upload. It can be a PDF, Word, Excel, JPEG, anything. After I do that, I just add something. I choose a design page. I choose a cover page. And then I want to order it. I want some item to go first, one item to go below. I just arrange the order. What the software does, it removes all the pages. It removed all the page numbers and it creates a file for me with an index. And then I can go and present this to the client. And I tell the client, look, this is my work. I'm just presenting my work to you. And that the client realizes what is the amount of work involved. This got designed in 30 seconds time. Imagine a statutory audit of 600 pages can happen too. The index is ready, so on and so forth. All the returns are ready. So when we are sitting in COVID, there are 1,000 websites like this. Right now, I am reworking on the website of Gurujana. We have got some 100 codes. I need to sit down today and see it. quotes ranging from 25,000 rupees to 2,50,000 to 20 lakh rupees. We got at a website last time, whatever you will be seeing now, if you type www.gurujana.com, is a website from Kazakhstan. We paid 20,000 rupees to design it. And we got that PMS tool. Actually, it's not 2,000. That's a typing mistake. It's 20,000. The PMS tool was designed by somebody in Kanpur. There's a website called Upwork. Just go get your logo design, get your tool design, get your Google form design, get your website design, get your PPT designed, anything. Many of you would already be aware of a Google form. Please use Google. This salon, they have given us some 150 salons. Each salon we have to do around 100. Is this okay now? Sorry. So this salon will almost give me 150 sort of salons with 6,000 bucks. For that, I need to prepare 150 audit reports, 150 data pages, 150 working papers. Then the peer review guy can come and ask me anything. But if I use a Power BI tool, I just give an Excel template to an article. He just goes, picks up everything, puts up in the template. And then if you can go back to this tool and see, I can see it cluster wise, city wise. I can see it franchisee wise, center wise. Which are the stores which has given me a license score? Which are the stores which has given me, for example, you take here, signage license. Trading and shops in the establishment, 37% are yes, 72% are no. Now, if I go and click on the 72%, I should be able to get the notes. Which are the 72%? So on and so forth. So Power BI is a very good tool you can use. Now, in the next 5 minutes, I have 10 minutes for this. Now it's 12:31. My time ends at 1. I hope it's going on well, and I also pray that I'm adding some value to your lives and profession. We are in tough times, and this is enough material to see us through. In a PowerPoint presentation, it looks question and answer session will start at 12:40. Then I have 10 minutes done. So I'll give you some business strategies. As you sit at home, what can you do? I'll call it as thoughts. Thought 1. If your client is happy, you need to render more services to him. All of us are doing well in our lives because our clients are happy. If I am doing a taxation advice to a client, why can't I do a payroll for him? If I am doing a taxation to a client, why can't I do a MIS design for him? Thought number 2. Are your customers satisfied? If yes, what more do they deserve? Can I create an influencer? This is the right time for you to sit and create an influencer. What is an influencer? I define an influencer as somebody who can be your evangelist. He will talk for you. He will recommend business for you. People come to him to ask for advice. People come to him to seek who is my CA. For example, a large VC player can be your evangelist. A large PE player can be your evangelist. An independent director can be your evangelist. How do you build an influencer? Today's time is not the time where people want to get disturbed. Those days are gone. Sir, I'm coming that way. Chai piyenge? Can I get 5 minutes? It's just a courtesy call. Nobody wants your intrusion. The further we stay away from people, it is easier for them. But in spite of it, we need in creating this environment. For example, VC players. As I told you in one of my earlier slides, create a dashboard of their portfolio companies. Present it to them. VC players. They may all have competition analysis, but they may not have seen the audited balance sheet. Suppose if I have a client by name, say just for sake, they're not our clients, but just I'll tell Flipkart. Can I go and take competition balance sheets of Flipkart and give it to the VC? This is what they have done. This is the monies they have raised. They are all analysts, but they're not legal people like us. Can I go to VC investments and tell, as per the special resolution what you have filed, you have a director nomination rights. In all your portfolio companies, in the 7 companies, there is no director. It is important for you. You're not doing asking for work. You're just disseminating targeted information. Don't even ask once, please give me work, because that will be soliciting work, you are in trouble. Please stay away. Thought 3. Incubators. There are so many incubators, so many accelerators. There are so many startup incubators. For example, in Bangalore, there are co-working spaces. There are hundreds of co-working spaces. Can I see you go and get a desk in a co-working space? Don't ask for work. Don't seek for work. Don't distribute your visiting card. Just sit and work there. And it is such an ecosystem which is constructed. For example, NASCOM Foundation in Bangalore has constructed a co-working space which is enough for 10,000 startups. 10,000. An organization of 400 people, we are not able to cater to 140 startups, while there are 10,000 startups available. And the seat for a women chartered accountant there is 2,000 rupees. For a guy chartered accountant is 4,000 rupees, because they want a better participation of women, something like the independent women director concept. Even if I have a woman partner, she can get a seat there for 2,000 rupees a month. She is getting literature, she is getting webinars, she is getting client output, she is getting new technology, she is getting to interact with people. 1 month, 2 months, even if I sit down there, there's so much of work to get. Thought 4, ego is a fascinating point. I'll move this out, ripple effect. I'll leave these slides for you. Can I go and get work? Sitting in the office and expecting work is very, very difficult. We are members of embassy offices. We are members of trade commissions. That is why when I told you the US, the UK, the Germany and the Japanese. Now this is hard work. You can't just go there and give a profile and come. That won't work that way. You will have to find out whether you can become a member there. Second, find out whether you are having a conflict with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India guidance note. Is the firm paying or are you paying? Are you becoming a social member or a professional member? There are so many events there. Unfortunately, when I go to many of this, for example, the Japanese Trade Commission in Bangalore, we got 5 claims from there in the last 2 years. And possibly I would have gone to the Japanese Trade Commission only 7 times or 10 times. If the Japanese Trade Commission here telecasts some fantastic Japan movies. We just have to go sit down there, and after that there is a fellowship for 10 minutes, have coffee, don't give your visiting cards, it's out of context, move out. But work would come. As long as your presence is there, work would come. I can't sit in my house and expect work. There is a lot of brand building exercise we can do. For example, writing ICA publications is a very good branding exercise. Now I am speaking here. I make some beautiful friends out of all of you. That apart, my name is in the internet. So if anybody searches for a chartered accountant, I get a better hearing than any of you, because my video is there in the internet. We file our tax return first in a billion. Questions have come. And so just file a tax return first in the country would become very, very good. I will have to skip a few of this because there are many questions which has come. That is what I tell. It was a 98 deck presentation which I took out in 95 minutes. So I'll stop sharing and I would possibly become the larger part of the screen now. And let me see how can I go and get your questions. Can I get the questions there, please? Okay, I think I can get some questions out here. Okay, here goes. Sir, thank you for asking so many questions. Oh my God. There are 15 pages of questions, but I don't know how many of these I'll be able to handle it in 15 minutes. But I endeavor that I would reply to all of you. I have an email ID, but do expect delays because I can't reply to 300 questions within a short time. But I'll ensure that every single question is replied for. This is a promise. I'll go by first come, first out. Mr. Rajendra Deshpande has written from Kelkar and Company, Kalyan. Does economy will give micro opportunities to a CA post-pandemic? Sir, obviously yes. There would be a huge opportunity for all of us. But it is up to us how do you do. If I could take you to point number 10 of my slide. Point number 10 is business strategies. Think over of your business strategies. Even in a downturn economy, chartered accountants will always have an upturn. We have a huge opportunity. How to maintain cash flow? Nimish from Bombay. Very, very difficult position we are in, sir. Unfortunately, we are chartered accountants. We are soft-hearted people. We will not resort to means like I want to reduce my salary, but times may demand that we would need that. As a firm, we are also perplexed with this question, but we have applied for a overdraft. And of course, this is the time for us to go back to the client, offer cash discounts, explain the position better. And I'm sure we have relationships all our life. They are going to give us money. Vijay Raghavan, Chennai. Is it relatively difficult for an individual to develop the client base? My experience is that partnership has not been successful for a variety of reasons. The partnership is not the only goal. As an individual, I would definitely feel if you can carve a niche out for yourself, it is much easier as an individual for you to go down and get work. But the only thing is you can't be getting large audit related work, large data accumulation work, but there is enough of consulting assignments available for individuals. There are so many aspects which you can think. For example, I can give you a classical example of a CFO moment. I was reading an article in Harvard Business Review. In India, I can specifically tell about Chennai. There was that article, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago or something. Chennai, Bangalore, Pune. Many CFOs had got fed up, or many CEOs had got fed up, and the CEOs wanted to start on their own. So that time we realized, look, the CEOs are fed up and they're starting on their own. We realize they're all CEOs of global companies and they're used to a high level of data. They require MIS, they require balance sheets, they require books to be tidily kept. So we approached many of these forums and started talking about how do you become an entrepreneur. So you, as an individual, there are many opportunities for you. Akhil from Patiala. While opening a new branch, there are many challenges like sharing fee, office expenses. Who will do work? How do you do this practically? This is almost another seminar by itself, but I can give you 3 guidances as per my experience. 1. We have merged with 3 firms, so I know how it goes. Plus, I have taken 13 partners. When I started, we were only 2 partners, now we are 13. How are we able to keep this? Position number 1. My rule may not be right, but I am sharing this what I did. I always go into a partnership, what can I give you, then what can I get? And by doing this, I felt that the most selfish thing for myself is to be selfless. The more selfless thing, if I am selfless, that is the best for me. So the more I gave it to my partners, the more I got back. Second, we entered into a merger. In the merger, we told the merged entity, whatever is there, we are going to incur expenses. We don't want a share of your goodwill. We don't want you to pay goodwill. We don't want a share of profits. Implement what all we have. Implement our work culture. Implement our business development strategies. After 2 years, you contribute to the growth of the firm. And I'm sure he is going to contribute to our purse also. Latani from Jaipur. Sir, what precaution should take during outstation audit like bank audit regarding eatables and stay? Sir, I'm sorry. I would need to skip this exercise because of 2 reasons. I've never done a bank audit. It's almost 20 years since I went to a bank audit. For that matter, it's almost 7 years since I visited a bank only. But having said it's a standard precautions you need to take. We have to do, we are servers of the nation. We can't just be telling I'll not do bank audits. The economic engine of the country is banks, but obviously take your precautions. If I were you, I would have carried my food, I would have carried my utensils, I would have carried my water, I would have carried my clothes. I would not have touched them also, I would have carried my keyboard. Ajay Mathur from New Delhi. We are a mid-sized firm dependent upon cash flows from completed assignments. Since due to the pandemic and lockdown, which has various reports may extend up to June, our work and particularly deliverables on assignments which we can bill clients has become a standstill, which may continue to go up. There are tremendous economic uncertainties. In this situation, how do we continue to retain staff? Mr. Ajay, to retain staff, one important thing we have to realize is when I was taking the decision for my firm, I took a decision like this. At this, I know you are a young firm. You must be much more younger than me. You see a lot of gray hair for me. You may be a much smarter young gentleman. But the decision I took was very easy for me. Of course, I don't know whether I'll be able to talk in this confidence after 4 months. At least for 4 months, I took this decision. At this stage of my life, my decision is whether I should enter the market of equity or whether I should exit now. Whether I should invest in this mutual fund or whether I should not invest. But my decision for employees stemmed from the fact that if I'm paying somebody a 35,000 rupees salary, or if he's a BCom student and I'm paying him 25,000 rupees salary, if I reduce 10% of his salary or 12% of his salary, the decision he would be making is whether I should cut milk or whether I should cut vegetables. So for him, it is a bigger game. So as a firm, what we have done is we have offered cash discounts to people who are going to pay us. All the partners have put back money to the firm. We have promised people that we will pay money salaries at least for a period of 4-6 months. Over the 15 minutes loan of the government, it has worked for 3 partners. Beautifully, it worked for me. We have applied for the 59 minutes loan and I have got a loan of 1 crore. There is the credit guarantee CUGS scheme for professionals. You will get a 1 crore loan. Right now, it is the time for us to invest on our people. Even if my organization has to get a salary output of 1.4 crores for 6 months, I have to pay 10 crores. Just as an example, if your salary is 20 lakhs, you need to somehow manage that 1.2 crores as a professional. You will get 1 crore of rupees. But having said that, there is no guarantee your employees will stay back after this. But when I told you in point number 2, have an organization chart, look at where we are going. It's such a pleasure to ask the question. So he was a regional council member, a dear friend. How to tackle the confidentiality issues when data is hosted in the cloud environment. So please be aware, do not have, if you are having a Gmail account which is not a paid account, your security features to that extent are lesser. You please pay for your Gmail. Even if you have a Dropbox, have a paid Dropbox. The most easier version is there are many office management tools. Check whether they have a SaaS audit. If you can have a SaaS level 1, level 2, level 3 audit for your server. Suppose your server is in Amazon or GoDaddy. Look at a server which has got a level 1, level 2, level 3 audits. The fees may be 5,000, 10,000 bucks more. Please go and sit in that server. I am not a tech guy, but the decision I took was very simple. I went and saw who all are there in the server. There was Nations Bank, there was Bank of America, there was Wells Fargo's. I just went and took that. If those guys are there, my data should be confidential. Having said that, you please use JustPass. Every document you can have JustPass for the document. What JustPass will do is it is a dynamic password creator software. I think there is a free version also for that. Use JustPass and don't use passwords even if they break into the server. Don't have passwords like Guru123. That can kill the entire thing. People can break the passwords. Have JustPass where it's a dynamic access thing. Rishabh from Pune, I love that city. It will be helpful if you could cover the ways through which a young CA can set up practice or what will motivate a fresher CA to job with practice and not a job. Fabulous, sir. We need more people in the profession. And as an outcome of COVID, you will see the people in practice going better. Because we are more sure of the world. We are more sure that in the long run, it is much better to be in practice. The pressures of the corporate jobs do pay well, but it's a hockey stick. Initially, you start growing your salary to a certain extent, and at the age of 40, 45, if you don't find a job, you're in trouble. People at higher salary expectations of 80 lakhs, 70 lakhs, 50 lakhs per annum at the age of 45 are very easily replaceable. They are becoming generalist, and it's very risky. And as I told you, some business development strategies I had given. If possible, there is in the Bangalore branch of Chartered Accountants, I have taken a session on how to develop business. Please do view it. I would be happy if you could view it. You will get some business development strategies. Having said that, Pune is a fantastic market. We are there from 2 years. We love it. It's a fabulous market for work and very good workforce we are getting in Pune. Mumbai, Mr. Deepak Gude. With increasing computerization, have to know what is the logic is used by programmers. Lack of time and expertise do not follow this. Deepak sir, I am Guruprasad here. I am 52 years. I don't know how to do Excel. The only formula I know in Excel is at sum. I don't know macros. I don't know pivot tables. But we are a high-tech office. We are a paperless office. You don't need to know programming. You don't need to know software to follow technology. You just need to know what is the tool which has to be useful for you. If you could write back to me, I can tell you what are the tools we use. Just go and buy the tools and start using. The amount of time we spend on the tools is useless because whichever tool you buy, how do you implement it is very good. We use a local tool called Pepilio. Of course, after that, we have developed 50, 60 more tools for the size of our organization. But that is, when we are using Pepilio, we are extremely successful in using that. But there are some chartered accountants using the same. They're finding it difficult. The day lockdown was announced, it didn't take my IT team to more than 2 days to ensure that people reached home. We had to shift close to 75 desktops home. Not everybody have laptops. We have to buy 40 dongles. We had to create HR policies to tell you can use your mobile internet, we'll pay you 300 rupees for the GB. They had to change letters. But having said that, you don't need to know about the programs. Just use a tool and concentrate on the quality of implementation than the quality of the tool. Excel, I don't know at all. But with that, I know how to read numbers. That is more important for a professional. Abhinav Mathur, Jodhpur, please explain flipping structures in detail. So difficult to share it in such a short video, but I'll give you a small thing. 2-3 flipping structures. One flipping structure, if your client is doing very well and is in a position to get acquired, or if he is going to raise money, if his valuation is better, try to have the Indian private limited company make the Singapore company as the holding company. All the shareholders of India will become shareholders of Singapore. Singapore will hold India. The reason is, in case there is an exit, long-term capital gains benefits are better. My ability to attract funds in Singapore are better. IP protection is better. The other way of flipping structures I could tell is, in case you are having a client who is suffering from deemed dividend provisions and he is suffering from issues relating to dividend distribution tax, flip it to a partnership, LLP. Or if you have a succession planning where partnership firm is there, convert it to a private limited company, you can have much better things so that partners don't break. If there is a 4-brother family, move it to a partnership firm, create a trust structure. So just look at who is the owner. Is the ownership effective? If the ownership is not effective, what can I make the ownership as a better structure? It can be as simple as a proprietary entity who is having 3 children. If there is a succession, how do I do it? Is it going to be a will? Or is it going to be transferring the proprietary assets to creating a trust, a private trust, and all the children will become beneficiaries of the trust and they'll be trustees? There are enough material in the market for that, but this is the time where you have to go and check about flipping structures for all your clients. Please elaborate on Pareto's rule, Bharat from Kota. Sir, simple logic. Majority of our clients are not organized. Let us understand that in the market. They don't even keep data properly. And unfortunately, I'm used to being a professional chartered accountant. They come and tell, sir, ये paper आपके पास है. You didn't guide us properly. ये क्या किया आपने? So many a times a client who pays 20,000 rupees is taking 10 hours of my time and comes and eats my head for everything. But at the same time, when I see some clients, they are fantastic. They pay 20,000, they are willing to pay 40,000, but I am not giving time because this crying baby is taking time. So if I can have a matrix where I can create a matrix, client who is profitable, who is not profitable, client who is systematic, who is not systematic, client who appreciates my work. We have something called client acceptance form in the office. Before any client comes in, I fill up that form. Then only I decide whether I should take the client. Is he going to give me happiness? So what is the Pareto's rule is 80% of the people whom I work give me 20% of profits. But 20% of my people whom I work, 20% of my clients give 80% of profits. So we need to concentrate on this 20% and slowly start weeding out the 80%. That is what I meant by Pareto's rule. Rajshekhar Reddy coded. Thank you very much for your compliment, sir. kind of you. Rajini Goswami, New Delhi. How much salary to be paid for staff? Difficult question, sir. As a professional with 25 years in experience, I'll tell you, take care of your people, they'll take care of you. Many a times we are looking at, he's a fresher, I'll pay 30,000, let him work for 4 years and I'll see. No, sir, that won't work. In 4 years, he will do half your work and go. Take care of him well, pay him well, trust him well. If he goes to another organization, bid him well, let him prosper. You will positively do too. But as a salary point of view, please continue as much as possible. That's my personal recommendation. Nothing to think about anything else. But as professionals, we have a duty to the nation. Yesterday, the Prime Minister's call, we all stood out and held the diyas in our lands. As chartered accountants, I am sure the Chairman Gupta sir is playing a vital role as an institute here. We have to go ahead and do it. I think we have 3 more minutes. I'll take one more. Kishore from Vasai, how to increase the loyalty of employees? I'll answer it in a simpler way. Pizzas and picnics don't keep employees. Engaging an employee to make him use his potential alone keeps you. So don't concentrate on pampering them, concentrate on creating them. If you pamper them, they'll go. They don't understand the value of pampering. You create them, they'll stay with you. For example, we have a tea person in the office who is supplying tea. Today is the head of our organization for a very large vertical. And he is also the dean of sports. We kept on challenging him. Ye bhi kar sakta hai tu, ye bhi kar sakta hai tu. So give him more than what he can do. He'll see the potential and he will be loyal to you. None of the larger players can ever do that because they are in a structured environment. Here we are in a creative environment. When we are in a creative environment, we can play the way we want. Manjunath from Mumbai, can a small size firm which are strategies to recover pending fees from clients? The same questions which are coming in, difficulty. Do offer cash discounts, do explain problems. I think the more we communicate, the more we give. But trust me, in a professional judgment, if we hoard data, we will not get the client, we will not get the money also. If we tell tally ka password change kar lenge, paisa aane do, dono nahi aayega. So let us be very professional, let us be very transparent, let us be the saviors at this point. Money will come, helping us. So I think we have 1 more minute and the chairman may have some closure remarks. I request the chairman to take over. Thank you all of you for listening to me and be safe, be happy, love you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, CA Guruprasad ji. It's really wonderful to have you as speaker like you. Really thankful. I think our participant members definitely would have liked your deliberations. It is really wonderful to listen you, to hear you. Friends, we have 3 more webinars in the coming days. I would like to brief all these. On 9th of April, we are having a webinar on it. Again on 11 to 1. And it is jointly with AASB, and our speaker is CA Niranjan Joshi from Mumbai, a very learned speaker. And on 11th, we are having a webinar on strategies of CAs under GST post-COVID-19. Speaker is CA Jatin Christopher. Timing is again 11 to 1. And thereafter, on 14th, we have webinar, recent judicial pronouncements in income tax. Speaker is CA Kapil Goyal from Delhi. And timings are again 11 to 1. So friends, these are some webinars from the committee for members in practice. Other webinars are also there. Please use all these webinars because it is the time when we are at home and it is the time when we can use our time in learning, in getting new experiences. I hope the deliberations of CA Guruprasad M must have tell you so many new things that how to make strategies in practice, even post COVID-19 time. So I think it was really wonderful to have CA Guruprasad M, and it is really wonderful that we could get around 9,000 participants in this webinar, and we got so many queries also. We will provide a PPT of this wonderful deliberations of CA Guruprasad M to all the members. Even we would try to provide the this recording also. So friends, I will again request, try to be safe, keep yourself safe, keep your family safe, and keep your clients prosperous and safe. And also contribute at your best in the ICI COVID-19 fund. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. I think we have completed this webinar also in time, and I hope you must have liked this. Kindly give your feedback on the mail of the ICI. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you to all. Thanks to Guruprasad ji. Thanks to managing team. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.